Hi, I'll be doing some two-point perspective architectural sketching today, looking at creating some simple shapes interacting with each other to create a basic view of a contemporary house. And this top left sketch that I'm doing at the moment, I'm just looking at creating a rectangle or a box on top of another box and then cutting into those in interesting ways and removing mass so that you can see through the front of the top part of that house. So there's a nice little window that you're able to see some of the forms through. So I'm creating a horizon line, a vanishing point, and a center line first, and trying to make the position that I'm placing the house vary between them so that you're getting different vantage points, and experimenting with what works best. So the top left one, you're looking pretty much dead on at it. The same with the top right one, where the height above and below the horizon line are pretty much the same. But this one that I'm drawing at the moment, I've done it quite close to the horizon line with the bottom half of the projection. So you're looking up at the house instead of being at eye level with it. So it means that you can create a more imposing sort of rendition of a house, or of a almost thinking of that one like a architectural drawing for a museum or some kind of governmental institution, and just thinking of how objects and different simple shapes can interact with one another to create something that's complementary and dynamic in the way that it's constructed. So thinking of combining big shapes and small shapes, big, medium, small, that sort of idea of having one large, one medium and one small, and interacting with one another, and playing with how you can position those between each drawing. So I'm trying to start out with just simple boxes and progress from there to maybe incorporating some curves. But at the moment, it's just looking at how you can cut into a simple box. But I found that I liked these ones that were positioning the horizon line, or the bottom part of the house quite close to the horizon line, so you're looking up at this house. And for this drawing, I was thinking about having a bit of a concave to the back of it, so it's like just a quarter of a circle, and the house exists within that sort of that space, and how that would affect living areas. And this one, I'm just thinking about putting it on top of the horizon line itself. So I'm imagining that you're lying down or about ground level and you're looking at that house. And it's all a similar sort of construction where you're imagining the center of the building and projecting back towards those vanishing points, and doing them quite quickly. So at this point, I was thinking about making having simple recesses into the facade of the building. So how you could cut away into imagining it like a wooden block, and how you can carve into it and remove mass in order to produce overhangs for the top level of the building, how it would overhang over the bottom half, and then creating interesting depth and dynamic within the building or the structure. So I'm using a 0.5 pen for doing these quick drawings. You can start. I like to sometimes start out with these with a pencil, but the pen is it helps you with developing your accuracy and confidence with your quality of line, with just hitting it in one pass. I'm often ghosting or making phantom strokes where I'm not actually making contact with the page with the pen. I'm laying out, or I'm imagining where the line's going to be and how it feels to make that line before I'm making it. So you're building up the muscle memory to create the mark before you put it down. So I'm making it all in one stroke and trying to be as confident with that line as possible, so that when you're looking at it and reading the lines, you should be seeing the most important information without getting too distracted by the construction. Obviously, the construction stuff is still very visible in these drawings, but not wanting to overdraw and make a mess by having lines everywhere and having really, really thick lines. At the start, I tried to go really, really light. And you can find that the pen can make a really, really light line if you're quite soft with how you're applying the tip of the pen to that page. This one I was thinking more of like a totem pole type construction with a building that has different levels and different roofs at each level. And looking at making a terrace house at this one, having the same building repeated again, and how that would affect how you're looking at it. I particularly enjoyed thinking of the interior of the buildings and how they recede back to the vanishing points. But for the purposes of just an initial sketch, doing these really loose, quick, it was only about 10 minutes of actual sketching. It was really helpful for visualizing the buildings. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.